The median price of a home in Naples is actually down 12% year over year. The supply, we're at about 6 months of supply in all of Southwest Florida for Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral. That's an interesting stat. We have a lot of things to cover here, and let's make sense of all of those big news of what's going on in the real estate market. So we're going to be covering both Lee County and Collier County year over year numbers, and I'm going to give some context here as far as month over month on some of those as well. But let's jump right into it. So we always talk about our closed sales. So first of all, this is single family homes in Collier County, which is Naples, Florida. We are at 289 closed sales. That is not very many. That's down 4% year over year. And then in Lee County, which is Fort Myers, Cape Coral, we had 943. That's up 16%. Now, if you watched my market report update last month, we talked about how a year and 1 month earlier, we had Hurricane Ian, and so Lee County was a lot more affected than what Collier County, what Naples was. So Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, those, Cape Coral, those took a really big hit. And so we have more sales now than we did last year in Lee County because of what happened with Hurricane Ian. And now this median price. So we talked about in the beginning of this video, we're at $750,000 in Collier County in Naples. That is down 12% year over year. We've not seen a double-digit decrease in pricing in a very long time. Now here's the good news. It was the same number. It was $750,000 last month. So it's not dropping rapidly now. It had just increased the later part of last year, and so now we've got a bigger decrease year over year. But still, I mean, 12% is a significant number. Lee County, we're looking at $410,000 as the median home price, and that's up 3%, so staying pretty steady. You know, it's about $400,000 last year. Days on market, this is a big deal right now. So we're looking at 56 days on market in Naples. That's up 14%, and then 46 days on market in Lee. That is up 35%. What I can tell you is that is, that's average days on market. We're seeing some go less than that. We're seeing some go significantly more than that. The buyer pool is a lot smaller right now than it was last year, and significantly smaller than what is in 2021. But we're going to talk about why that is a really good thing for a certain segment of the market. Now, the new listings that came on the market in Naples is 604. That's up 14%, so that's good because there's more inventory, more options. And then 1,727 in Lee County, and that's up 32%, so significantly more listings than we had this time last year. And we've also talked about this in the videos. A lot of people weren't putting their homes on the market because they had locked in a very good interest rate. We're not seeing as much of that right now. We're seeing people are willing to put their homes on the market because ultimately, you need to make a move. You need to make a move. I mean, that is the reality. And we'll talk about what's happened with interest rates here at the end. So we also have in pending inventory 516 in Naples. That's down 19%. So the number of pending is indicative of what's going to close here in the future. So we're looking at our future close numbers to stay down year over year. And then 1,459 in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Lee. That's down 13% year over year for the pending. Month supply, that puts us at 6.1% in Naples. That is up 49% year over year. And then 5.5 months in Lee County. That's up 96%. So at the end of the day, that's up 100%. We're both right around 6 months worth of inventory. And so what has happened is what we've been talking about is continuing to happen. We're pushing more and more into a buyer's market. The great news in all of this is that we've actually seen interest rates reduce quite significantly over the past month and a half. And so we are starting to see rates that are now in the high sixes, low sevens, high sixes, compared to where they were in the 8% range. And on top of that, the inventory has continued to grow. So there's just a lot more options out there for home buyers. The home buyers who were priced out of the market in 2022, and there was so much competition for homes, that does not exist anymore. And so we're starting to see those home buyers come out of the woodworks and say, hey, interest rates came down a bit. Now is a much better time. I'm not competing against 25 other offers on the property. This might very well be my time to make this move. And I think that's very smart. we know that if interest rates were to come down significantly more, that would push prices higher. But we've been adding inventory, and so I just don't see a scenario that prices are going to go up significantly for 2024. And we talked about that in my last video, which I'll link to at the end of this particular video. So here's what I expect to happen going forward. So beginning of January, typically, and hardly anything is typical anymore, but typically we see a surge in inventory at the start of a new year. And the reason behind that is there's a lot of snowbirds, a lot of people who come from all parts of the world, but especially the northern states where it's cold, and come down here to Southwest Florida. And so if somebody has been looking like they might sell or want to sell, considering selling, they would typically put their home on the market during high season when the majority of people are down here vacationing. Makes a whole lot of sense. With the advent, with the advent of the internet and the way the MLS works and distribution, syndication, it's not as big of a deal because you can look at real estate when you're anywhere, but it just becomes top of mind for those people who are in town. And so the inventory usually increases during the beginning part of our high season, which again, January, February, March are the highest seasonal months. And then in February, March, April, towards the end of season, that's when we sell off a lot of that inventory when things are normal. Things have not been normal for a few years. Last year, we actually gained inventory throughout all of season. We did not sell off inventory. So I'm super excited to see what happens this season because now buyers have options. Now interest rates are lower than they were. And so it just is a good recipe for us to have increased number of transactions for 2024. And if we look to see what Lawrence Yun had talked about, they're expecting, the National Association of Realtors is expecting the home sales to increase across the entire United States for 2024. I expect that we have more home sale in 2024 in Southwest Florida here as well. So do me a favor, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then in the description, we actually have a home wish list. So if you're thinking about making a move to Southwest Florida, you can fill out that home wish list. And what that'll do is that'll help us understand exactly what you're looking for and work to pair you up with the perfect property for you. Me and my team would be delighted to help you with that. As always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Hit those comments below, subscribe to the channel, and have a happy new year. Thanks.